Hey guys.
Check complete. Let's head over to the bar.
Yes. And we're back again with another episode of the VARBAR. As you can see on my left, right, wherever you're watching, I don't know if it's mirrored, but the wounded. I'm just the wounded. For like 2-3 months straight, I was champion. How do you say champion in Igbo or Yoruba?
I ain't gonna
You
scoop
guys
my
even
boy.
know.
I can't lie.
See what I mean
can't
about you
lie.
guys? I don't even know how you're saying true, to be fair, but yeah.
Just look at this fool.
I'm
bro.
wounded.
It's probably just champion, isn't it, man? You know these languages, isn't it?
It's
Like, hella English words.
champion, bro. Yeah.
I'm the wounded LFC man at the moment, man. And obviously, we're going to share perspective because I think as Liverpool fans, we need to have perspective. But at the same time, we can be disappointed and we can be honest about it as well, man. Joining me, of course, they pushed everything to the side tonight. Hey, I never seen Shalom confirm his attendance this quick, you know. And I was like, yeah. J to the Mace.
6 a.m. on the dot.
And obviously Toast. I know Toast was busy as hell. He's about to go on holiday soon. The work is giving him work. But he said, nah, man. I'll give an hour and 15 minutes of my time. Yeah,
Come on, G.
I've got to get my licks in, man. They hate watching Goon himself, man. What are you guys telling me, man?
Live and direct. We're here camping. Wait.
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed, man. Like I said in the VARBAR group chat, man, I got my joy back,
Yeah,
man.
you got
And
shame,
know
man.
I
You
ain't
got
said
small shame, Toast. I know you do. You've learned this season.
I have. I've been humbled this year, innit, man? So, but yeah, man. No, I mean, obviously, good week for all involved, innit, man? Well, apart from Liverpool, really, man. I mean, obviously, we've been getting band for band. Well, I want to say band for band. We've been getting for the title, and the title's not quite worked out. So to see Liverpool have this sort of week, man, music to my ears, man. I can't lie. But yeah, we'll get into it still.
Let's touch on it, man. Let's touch on it directly, man. Obviously, this is been a horrific week. It all started with like the Champions League. Obviously, we came into that game beating PSG 1-0, but the performance was nothing to write home about. So we couldn't have played any worse than that. So obviously, from a Liverpool perspective, it was like we, in front of the home crowd, Anfield, under the lights. It should be better. We should perform better. And to be fair, we did perform better, to be honest. We did, in my opinion, deserve to win the game in the 90 minutes. But yeah, as everyone knows, we lost the game. We lost the tie. We lost the game. We lost the tie on penalties, and PSG are through. We got knocked out in the Champions League. I was like, cool, fine. We faced PSG. You guys know when the draw was made, I wasn't talking about winning the Champions League or whatever, because you have to go through PSG before you can talk your shit. So I wasn't doing any of that. Calm. 4 days later, we have a chance to redeem ourselves because obviously there's a final in it. There's the first medal. That's what I was focused on personally.
Mm-hmm.
This had to be won, in my opinion. This L, there's no excuses. No matter what people want to say, no matter how good Newcastle are at their game, because they're very good at what they do. Very good. We had to win this. I remember like 2 years ago, Newcastle in the final as well against United. And I remember the narrative at that time as well, that obviously Newcastle are favourites, United are shit, Newcastle will win this. United won the game. And I feel like United won the game based on we are Manchester United. We're not losing a final against a Newcastle. With all due respect to Newcastle, no matter how shit we are, no matter whatever, we're not losing a final against Newcastle. We're winning this game. And obviously, I remember United got 2 quick goals. Newcastle tried, but they couldn't, muster up a response to win the game. So I thought, Liverpool, off the back of the performance against PSG, even though we lost and we headed out, we played well. The disappointment, it should ginger you to obviously win your first medal, isn't it? It was far from that. Far from that. Toast, man, let me hand it over to you in terms of sum up the Champions League one briefly, and then let's glide into the Carabao Cup final.
If I'm honest, man, like And I feel most Liverpool fans would probably say over the 2 legs, PSG probably deserve to go through. I mean, if you have a different opinion on that, obviously I'd like to hear it. I say that just because obviously we know how the first leg went. Credit to Liverpool for obviously, and we discussed it in last week's pod, credit to Liverpool for obviously the subs that were made very late in the game. They were impactful. They got the goal. They were clinical. But my overriding feeling was if Liverpool didn't do spirit of Anfield End, spirit of like Anfield Road End, spirit of Cop End or whatever in the second leg, I feel as if PSG would have you. And I genuinely felt that because like we said last week, I've seen Liverpool play Leverkusen this year, a very good team. I've seen Liverpool play City and Arsenal. I've seen Liverpool play Madrid. Do you know what I mean? So it got me thinking that sometimes in football, some teams, you just don't match up that well with them. Do you know what I mean? Like for whatever reason, you can have your full 11 out, but for one reason or the other team just kind of has your number. And I kind of felt as if PSG must be thinking, there's no way we lost that first leg. So the way they came out in this game, it was expected. And I'm glad that Luis Enrique didn't really do too much differently. Do you know what I mean? I know Salah had a very good chance early on, which got blocked, I think, on the line. But PSG were like, we're a goal down, we're here to play, and we're going to play. And Dembele, I got to give him credit. 6 years in the making, or is it 7 years? I don't know. But instrumental over these 2 legs, man.
Can you apologize? Can you apologize to me again?
Bruv, you're never gonna get an apology out of me because I did not call Dembele a bad player. What you know my words where Dembele is a flatter to deceive merchant. I even heard the commentator say that.
What does that mean? If you call someone a flatter to deceive merchant,
that means he's not lived up to his billing. That means he's not lived up to his billing. It doesn't mean that they're a bad footballer because I mean, brother.
But the way you were talking, you're acting like he's not serious. You were saying things like no one cares about Usman. This, that. Now he's top three. Now he's one of the favorites for the Ballon d'Or. Now he's one of the favorites. The thing is, you were gassing the thing like you'd won the argument when for the 5 past 6 years, injuries I understand fine, but he's not been up to the level we expected him. Pivoting back to obviously the game and this season, obviously he's probably the most informed forward maybe in Europe right now. His goal scoring record, goal involvement record, unbelievable. Can't say enough about him, man. This is the player that you probably expected to see over the last decade, you understand? And I feel like we're finally seeing him, man. So influential. Like obviously, great ball out to the wing, and then obviously got a bit of misfortune in the build up to the goal. Obviously, Konate maybe could have cut it out, maybe couldn't have, and he put it away, man. And I think it was just very, very well deserving of him to have got a goal to get them back in the tie over the 2 legs. Liverpool huffed and puffed. Don't get me wrong, but even just looking at the stats, like. You only had 3 shots on target over 120 minutes. PSG had 8 shots on target, you know what I mean? They had more shots total than you as well. And it just kind of made me think that, like, I don't know if it's a case of Liverpool are a little bit hungover, do you know what I mean? Maybe, like, all of the good performances back to back is kind of catching up with them. Like, I know you've had a bit of a slump, maybe post-Jan, but you've been getting results, do you know what I mean? But your attack recently has just not looked very clinical, man. And even in that PSG game, and you had the spirit of Anfield and the fans behind your back, I just didn't see you guys scoring. And I don't know what's happened to the free-flowing nature of... Did you not see us scoring in that game?
Bro, I'll be real, man. I'll be real. Like, when they went 1-0...
The Trent one, the Trent chance, the Kwanzaa one.
Okay, obviously...
I was just like waiting for a goal, but it never came.
You waiting for a goal.
That was
fair enough. Fair enough. Like I genuinely just felt as if like that game, once PSG got the goal, that the game was going to go to at least extra time. Do you know what I mean? So and even if Liverpool did score, I felt as if PSG would be able to score another one to force extra time. And if I'm honest, man, overall, even in extra time, it kind of felt like you guys kind of ran out of ideas a little bit. They were the better team, if we're being honest. And it got to penalties, and obviously penalties is luck. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, there's elements of luck and there's elements of skill. Like you can take 5 great penalties and sometimes not win a penalty shootout. Do you know what I mean? So we won't really talk too much about the penalties. Ultimately, PSG won the tie. And if I'm just talking about what we saw over the, I guess, 210 minutes plus penalties, I have to say that PSG are probably more deserving to go through. And for Liverpool not to score in open play over 210 minutes is definitely something that needs to be questioned. I think, like, just looking at the fact that you've steamrolled some very, very good teams this year at home as well, particularly. So very, very interesting to see how the matchup against PSG really is favorable to you.
I will touch on that particular part that you said as to why that might be, to be honest, because I've got a theory. Mace, you touch on the Carabao Cup, man, post Champions League exit.
Well, we're not touching on the Champions League. We're just jumping.
Mace wants his piece.
If you want to talk, I thought
no. We can do the Carabao Cup, but I just wanted to just finish it off, and that basically the point I'm about to bring on will go into the Carabao Cup, which was both games shown me something about this current Liverpool, which is if you nullify Salah, then there isn't anyone stepping up for Liverpool at this point. And that showed in both games.
Yeah.
And that's a worry, especially from a footballing stance. You clearly need more creators, especially if you look at that Newcastle game. What was very important was your midfield. I didn't think you were creating enough for the midfield. So that didn't help a lot. Of course, up front, Jota has somehow just fallen down in his just efficiency. And I remember we had this conversation at the start of the season. I kept saying Jota will be different for you guys this season, and he did start at the start, but maybe it's injuries, maybe it's just, I guess, form. He's just fallen off a cliff. And yeah, going back to Salah, I know you when I had this conversation with you not too long ago about my opinion on Salah. Salah's a great goal scorer, but what else does he bring to the game if he isn't scoring? And you can say assist, but what else is he bringing? I just don't know. And I think that's a big question mark on Salah in himself. But largely speaking, he's just a great player. And I think in those type of games, if you're not scoring, like, you can do more. And I thought, like, in the final, as Liverpool's possibly greatest player, you can argue, you could have done more. You couldn't have done better on Salah's point of view. But also the fact that creatively, I would have expected a midfielder being brought in just to switch the game up, just to do something, because Joelinton and Bruno G was just running that particular midfield. And when you have runners and bruisers,
you know that
like
meme when Adonis holding
under his arm.
Yeah.
That's what it was, bro.
Exactly. When you have those bruisers, what you have to do is your football IQ you step it up, you pass, you keep them guessing. And you like, let me put it this way. Newcastle, that iteration of Newcastle is the worst team to play when you're kind of in a slump or when you're not creating.
I agree,
well,
man.
because what they do is they would just P you out of the pitch. They will pressure you out of the pitch. And
you know what? I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, just to talk about the creativity part, I totally agree with you, man. And when I think about it, let's cast our mind to our previous two games against Newcastle. The one at St. James's Park, where it ended up 3-3. First half, if you guys remember the first half, beat up, pammed.
Yeah,
we got beat up. The game changed when we brought on Trent Alexander-Arnold. Exactly to your point, like a creative passer, someone that can pick out passes, that can drive with the ball and do something that no one else can do. In the game at Anfield, when they came, Trent Alexander started that game. We ran them off the park, 4-0. Now, I mean, this game, Trent Alexander-Arnold is not playing. You see the results. Now, I mean, so you hit the nail on the head there. Where, like, I think on the slot, and this is what I tell you as well, Shalom. For as much as you say that Arteta is inexperienced, on the slot, they came to the game at the same time. On the slot's inexperience counts for that as well. He's done well with, like, the substitutions and that, but I think for this game, he could have started with a Harvey Elliott or a Curtis Jones, because you need, like, a penetrative midfielder, the one that's going to slip it through. Like the goal that we scored, the Chiesa goal, We didn't
it
have,
through, yeah.
bro. We didn't have many of those type of situations in that
Nah.
game. Know what I mean? And only if I can think a Jones or a what's his name, Harvey Elliott would do that in our
Harvey
team
Elliott.
currently.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, totally agree with you, Mace, man. Continue.
Yeah. So ultimately, I think that Liverpool they finally hit that slump which we've been expecting them to hit. They hit it at a time where they've done well enough to we can wrap the league, except they lose 4 and Arsenal win 4, which is going to be very difficult. And they've done it at a time where they can't move forward. And I think essentially we have to question whether Liverpool's bench is good enough. If you had a good bench, that would have probably propelled you to, win the games against PSG and Newcastle. I think you've run out of steam. And I think questions should be asked regarding how well your bench is. And the bigger questions, like for the Liverpool's future, is what's going on with this Salah situation. Is it just a slump, or are we seeing a downturn in his overall performance? Because Nuno Mendes, I can wave. I can be like, okay, cool. That was a one-off, because you don't see a lot of left back lock-in. Yeah, but
so what? We can't chalk that to England call-up gas.
I don't think. I'm basically just questioning it, because like my starter point is, if you lock off Salah in this Liverpool team, right, you're more or less there.
This is in the Liverpool chat, we've just been talking about Salah for 2 days straight. This is my stance, where it's like, I don't feel that, especially, rival fans, you guys can do whatever. Hey, whatever, you guys can do whatever. But I think as Liverpool fans, we can have no chat or criticisms for Salah. Yes, we can acknowledge if he has like a bad game. Yes, we can acknowledge it. Yes, we can acknowledge he's not been good the past 3 games. I thought he was okay in the PSG game. People disagree. Fair enough. PSG home game, that is. Yes, we can acknowledge all that. I'm acknowledging that as well. He stank yesterday. But we can't have no smoke for Salah without not there being smoke for Nunez. Not there being smoke for Diaz. Not there being smoke for Jota. Are you crazy? Yesterday, I saw Chiesa come in for 10 minutes. He showed me more than everyone. Everyone that played in that game, all of our he showed me more, bro. So that's even a question for Slot as well. It's like, why is Chiesa not getting the minutes when clearly, maybe physically he's not there, but ability-wise, he has bags of it. That finish, who else is scoring that for Liverpool like that? An informed Jota. But currently, that was a good finish, in my opinion.
Finish, yeah.
There's also game state as well, man. It's also game state because it's also game state with the whole Chiesa situation, because you're not going to play Chiesa in the night like against PSG because of that game is quick. And I'm not sure about Chiesa's legs, especially after his ACL, whether he can still handle it. But it's game state. But go ahead.
Of course. So obviously with Salah, he's allowed to have these kind of performances in the season after carrying us on our back. And even now it's showing even more that he has carried us to the title. It's
no Salah, no party, man.
No Salah, 100%. No party. It's bait now. So I don't want to hear no negativity towards Salah. He can't do this. He can't do that. Donny is on a generational season, numbers-wise. People call him a goal scorer, but check the assist numbers. There are clubs that have 10s that are nowhere near his assist numbers, bro. We're not even talking about goals. You get me? So I'm not trying to hear the Salah talk. Obviously, we can chalk it off on Ramadan or whatever. He's feeling weak. You know what I mean? Every team got Muslim players. You get me? I'm not really trying to hear that excuse, but for me, he's allowed to have a off period, but that means the others need to step up as well, and they're not getting any smoke. So I'm not having that, man.
Yeah, man. No, I definitely feel as if this kind of week also has showed that, wow, like should Salah leave Liverpool next season, I mean in the summer, that Liverpool really need to kind of bring some reinforcements in attack, or like they're gonna regress to the mean. I'm not saying that you guys are a bad team. Like, I think pound for pound, you saw some very good players. Cody Gakpo, one of my favorite players to watch this season for sure. I think he can probably establish himself as a starter and one of your more important attackers if Salah leaves. But just looking at, like, it's as simple as that, man. It's like these crucial last two games. If you can nullify Salah, then you can really kind of nullify the confidence of Liverpool's attack, man. And yeah, man, it really showed, man. And I agree with Andy. Like, Salah's more or less won you the league almost single-handedly. And obviously his assist numbers, they speak for himself, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna get into all of that. Salah's this or Salah's that. I've always been an Egyptian fan. I've always been a big fan of Mo Salah. But I do also think, and this is not even a knock on him, but I feel as if Salah, there are certain limitations that Salah has, because in a game like that, they nullified everything down that channel, sort of thing, in my opinion. And Salah's not really the sort of player that's gonna take the game by the scruff of the neck. That's not really his game, but there was an expectation for him to do that. Salah's not really going to come into the middle of the pitch to grab the ball, start dribbling, make things happen. Do you know what I mean? So I feel as if I don't even want to say that he shied away yesterday.
Do you want to say the lack of? Do you want to say the lack of? Because I think that's an element too. The lack of Trent and Conor Bradley. Kwanzaa is not doing the overlapping.
Bro, not even the overlapping. Kwanzaa doesn't really even have the confidence on the ball to kind of progress it, bro. Because there were times where the ball came out to Kwanzaa. I was like, thank God Trent's not here, man. Because if Trent picks it up in literally the halfway line, bro, Trent can whip a ball into the 18-yard box, bro, from the halfway line, bro, one time, bro. So yeah, man, like, I mean, for sure, Bradley can cross in it. Do you know what I mean? Bradley will get to the byline and he'll cross, but Kwanzaa weren't kind of offering you nothing, man. Man, there's a couple of. It's a big summer for Liverpool, man. I'll be real. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I still expect them to like see the league off without any issues, but like to potentially lose Van Dijk, Salah, and Trent in the same window, it'd be catastrophic, man. And I'm not even being like, that's not even like hyperbole, bro. It would be catastrophic in terms of the spine of the team, bro. So
also,
it would only be catastrophic if we don't replace well. Which with Mike Edwards being back, I'm confident we will. But I do want to say that you mentioned all three. I think Van Dijk should stay. Salah can be compensated, but you need to be very creative in who you bring in the forward line. Trent, he's a one of one. You're not really gonna,
bro.
Know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna say.
But you need to have like a Conor Bradley who's like okay at both things, which he is, to be fair. So I don't know, but Van Dijk, I don't see us replacing him at all. So I think he needs to stay for another 2 seasons and guide the next CB under him. That's how I think.
Another quick point I actually wanted to bring up as well was, how do you feel like you handled set pieces yesterday? Because I actually feel as if, I don't think Liverpool are a bad set piece team, but I don't know. I don't know if I felt like there was an element of arrogance that you, man, weren't matching up with Dan Burn. Like, I completely understand that you guys have a defensive line and you probably planned in the week that, okay, you know what? This is where the centre-backs are going to be. But there was a warning in the first half, bro, where Dan Burn got on the end of a header, and I don't know if it was Shah or someone flicked the header, and then Kelleher made a nice save. Guimaraes, thank you. Yeah. That was already the warning. So when I'm seeing and the Sky Sports cameras, ITV, whoever's like doing it, they always catch mismatches. They're like, if you see Gabriel Magalhaes with someone small, they're like, something's about to happen here. They can almost kind of preempt it. I'm seeing Dan Burn and McAllister at the back post, like just before the ball comes in. And I'm thinking, if Dan Burn gets an end of this, it's a wrap. Do you know what I mean? Right. The ball floats over your centre-back's heads, and Dan Burn powers in and score. And it's like, stuff like that is very...
The thing is, though, how many times does Dan Burn do that? So I think what Liverpool does in terms of... Because Slot, he actually explained it. You're trying to minimize the XG in terms of them scoring. So if a defender is like all the way down there, you put all your tall centre-backs, your tall players, zonal. So they attack the ball when it comes into that space. And then you let the small Donnies, they're just being annoying basically to them ones. The tall Donnies of Newcastle, they're always on the edge of the box or on the 16. They're not like You see Gabriel Magalhaes, he runs from the edge of the box and he comes inside, but them man stay there in it. So the XG of him scoring that goal is 0 to nothing, but he did it.
Header. It was a great
header. I felt like
but
it is
you know what
that's man.
But the thing, sorry, Tosh, right?
Go on,
Sorry,
Mace.
Tosh, but you're not counting on the XG. You're just counting on common sense because one, there's two things that could happen. He could score or he can knock it down for someone to tap it in. So clearly, he is a threat. He is a threat.
Course.
So you have to replace it. Whoever it was McAllister.
McAllister, bro. Yeah.
You have to replace him, and it's a final. Like, come on, bro. You have to replace him with someone who can handle him. Okay, maybe the bigger question is, sorry, Toast, is Liverpool. How many tall players do you have? Because I count Konate, Van Dijk. Who else is tall?
We haven't looked at that many. We don't have really a tall squad.
Exactly. So I guess you guys were just outmatched. And I guess what would have happened is if you moved Van Dijk to Burns, you have a hole in the middle.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that.
So I guess Newcastle.
So that's what I'm saying. You need to you need to nullify the XG basically. That's what it didn't work out.
Right.
Fair enough. But how many times is Burns scoring that? That's what you have to think about. You know what I mean? The chances are big, quote unquote, but from that distance, it was a fine header, man. I can't lie, it was really good.
It was not. It was a great header, man. I don't know. I just personally felt as if, and I get it. I completely understand your system. Even after the goal, you continue to do the same thing, which makes sense. Fine, like you've maybe trained on it. That's what you're gonna do, but you got to get someone taller than McAllister because for me, I understand the premise of fine. We're not going to change our system, but if Dan Burn, who's like 6'7", is going up against McAllister, he's going to win 10 headers out of 10. So eventually, at least one of them is going to lead to a goal. So I'm just thinking, this is
McAllister's job really is to put him off.
It's to put him off.
It's not to match him, but you need to put him off,
bro.
There's no way
because how many times did Trippier do? How many times did Trippier do that sliced ball, bro? They were literally they were basically nullifying your defensive line and basically attacking you that way. And man, it was a strange one to watch, man. Yeah, for sure.
I don't wanna stick on Liverpool too much because I feel like, if there's any team that I wanted to lose to, then it would have probably been Newcastle in it. Because if it wasn't Newcastle, it would have probably been Arsenal in the final, and then that would have been even worse. But Newcastle is probably most people's like second team in the league, or they have some good players. Fully deserved first trophy after 70 years. People are pitching me Alan Shearer. People are telling me Alan Shearer ain't done niche for them. Say less. But yeah, man, Newcastle, man. How isolating Liverpool? Because I don't want to be like Liverpool played poorly, that's why Newcastle won. Newcastle definitely were worth their weight, man. Like, how much did they deserve this? Overall, even their journey winning this, like even beating Arsenal over 2 legs, etc. It was written.
Man, like just from the start of the game, like I thought like coming into the game, I fully expected Liverpool's quality to show out. Do you know what I mean? Like even when Newcastle had a very good game at Anfield, you guys still almost won it. Do you know what I mean? I think they were 2-1 up, and I think you guys made it 3-2, and then obviously a very late goal from Shaw. At St. James Park, and then obviously at Anfield, I believe Isak missed the game, I think, and then I just expected you guys to steamroll them, which you did. This game, again, coming into it, obviously off the back of PSG, I'm thinking, Liverpool, if Liverpool get ahead here, it's basically going to be like the final 2 years ago, do you know what I mean? The quality will show Liverpool win. But there was something about the way Newcastle just played, man, like that throughout the whole game, I felt as if they really had a chance. And I was like, if Newcastle get the first goal here, it's going to get very, very uncomfortable for Liverpool. And when you have a gambling addict and 2 Brazilians in your midfield, you have 3 crackheads basically just who are going to fight. Like, brother, what does Bruno G know about Newcastle, bro? Donny is shedding tears after the game, bro. A Don from Brazil. This is how much it means more, brother. And this is what I'm saying, man. Sometimes it's not even about the talent, bro, because pound for pound, Liverpool are a more talented team. Sometimes it's about the will to win. It's about the desire. It's about 70 years of pain.
Yeah,
bro. So honestly,
PSG as well, by the way. Who? They had more of that desire, the will to win, whereas Liverpool was like, we're Liverpool. We're Liverpool. And you can't run this.
You can't teach it. You can't teach desire. And honestly, I felt as if to a man, they they just played for the badge, bro. They played for them traveling fans. Probably, hey, they had to. You know, Newcastle was one of the furthest places to London, bro. Like the journey that them fans had to come. And I think just 2 years ago, obviously, the final was more or less wrapped up by half time. Do you know what I mean? In a game that they probably thought they could be competitive in, you know. So they had to right the wrongs of 2 years ago. And again, man, 70 years in the making. Like we're talking about like Shearer, we're talking about Laurent Robert, we're talking about Amayobi. Like we're talking about like Ginola, we're talking like, bro, none of them man won a cup, bro. So it's like you get to a final, it's 11 on 11. Hey man, we have a chance here. And shout out Eddie Howe, man, first English manager, sorry, to win a trophy since 2008. I believe Harry Redknapp Portsmouth's FA Cup in 08. Probably we have to probably call him the best English manager around currently, man. And just shout out to him, man. It was a great cup run to beat the two on paper best English teams in the league, like over 2 legs against Arsenal in the semi and then Liverpool, a very good Liverpool team in the final. Can't say enough about man, how much Newcastle deserved that, man. So well done to them, man.
I just wanted to touch on that desire thing, because I saw someone tweet this, and I kind of agree. Where like the Donny was saying, Liverpool missed Henderson because this current Liverpool team don't have a desire merchant. We'll do it for the batch. It means more. If you remember the PSG game, I'm going back to that game. Trent in the second half. Man put on that.
Oh my God. Yes.
Mad
but the disallowed goal. Oh my days. Like, bro, he was in like 3 places at once. It's crazy. Yeah.
And they're saying that obviously in this 11, there's not much Van Dijk, obviously, but he's a bit, you know what I mean? I need to look after my hair. He's that, you know what I mean? There's no real vocal leader. The manager as well, it's not like an emotional manager, like a Klopp that would, get that side of it. So, that might count for something as well, to be honest. But I don't know. It's all speculation, man. Is there still talk of because obviously this is the adversity. This is the first time we lost back-to-back games, albeit not in the league, but back-to-back in any competition, which is good, I think, to be honest, because it started the season. I wouldn't have said that we would have waited till March for that. But is there still talk of a title race? Do you think this might get techie for Liverpool last 9 games?
Man.
Shalom, speak, man.
Bruv.
Like I said at the start, you need to lose 50% of those games and we need to win for us to have a title race back on. It's not going to happen. I think I was watching, I was on one of the social media platforms and someone said, I can't remember who said it on AFTV. He was like, our aim right now is not to give Liverpool a guard of honor. So we have to win all our games. And I think, I think for Arsenal, that's kind of what we need to, that's what we need to look forward to play, not to give them a guard of honor, because
what I want is either a guard of honor or that game at Anfield is the deciding game.
Yeah.
That's what I want. So to give you guys, we lose 2 games, you guys win all your games, give you guys small hope, and then put the dagger on Anfield. Yeah.
But to answer your question, there isn't a title race. That is done and dusted.
You concur, Toast?
I totally agree. Yeah, no, I totally agree, man. I totally agree. And before we move on from Liverpool, I just have one more very quick question, Andy. Like, because obviously you man won the league. Obviously, was it 2019-2020 season, COVID season, whatever you want to call it? Obviously, there's a very good chance you're going to win the league this year. But like, and this is no knock on Liverpool. It's just an observation that I've made, that I've noticed that obviously teams that I consider really, really strong teams, like historically, have like done like a cup double. Do you know what I mean? And they've done it pretty comfortably, because when you do a kind of cup double, it just shows that you've just been dominant from start to finish, competition to competition. How do you, obviously winning the league over Arsenal, potentially winning the league period, it's a great thing. But how do you feel about the fact that obviously potentially these last 2 league titles have come without maybe some additional dominance, FA Cup, League Cup, like in the same season? Like, how does that sit with you?
I think in the grand scheme of things, I don't care, to be honest, because obviously the Prem is the ultimate prize. I think with this season specifically, I did want a second trophy with it as well, based on the way we like dominated. I think that season as well, we dominated as well, but I think We were very unlucky against Atletico Madrid. Obviously, that hate watch week. Very unlucky there. I think, did we reach a cup? No, we didn't reach a cup final. Arsenal won the FA Cup then, right? That season, I think.
2020, yeah,
COVID?
season.
Then
yeah,
yes,
Yeah,
COVID.
COVID. Yeah, Arsenal won
Yeah.
the FA Cup and League Cup. I can't remember what we did, to be honest. But that one, nah, I don't. Give me the league. That was our first in 30 years. First that I've seen. Nah. But this one, I can't lie to you. That's why the Carabao Cup hurt me more, because I really wanted that and the Prem. Just for my sake, that because it shows that, like you said, that you're a strong team. Yes, obviously, if you win the Premier League, it's the most difficult league in the world to win. Kudos to you. And the way we're doing it, we've only lost one game. We might lose more, but at this point, we've only lost once. You know, it's good. You know what I mean? But with like an EFL Cup, it would have put the cherry on top, man. But it doesn't take anything away from what Slot has done, man, because I think this guy came into this season low-key handicapped. We didn't really improve on our squad from last season that gassed out. He only made one signing, a signing that he's hardly played. And I think overall he's done well. We finished first in the Champions League group stages. Unlucky to catch PSG at the right time for them. I'm not taking anything away from Slot. However, but I do need to happen for me to be, for my joy not to be taken, basically, is we need to get to the 90-point mark, man. That's what I want. If Slot gets 90 points in his first season and wins the league, 90 plus points, he's done more than enough, man. Final, EFL Cup, FA Cup against Plymouth, Champions League. I would say, you got, Luis Enrique, PSG. Yeah, next time better, innit? But if he gets 90 plus points, man, that's job well done, man. And then you build on that next season, man. Because either way, man, in regards to the Champions League, like I said, I've been saying in the group chat, I've been saying on the pod as well, we weren't good enough to win Champions League and Prem in terms of our squad. It's not good enough. So, that's where I stand, man. So 90 plus points, then I'll be satisfied. If it's less than 90 points and we win the league, I'll be happy, but I'll be there with you, man. It's a bit lackluster. 100%.
I hear it.
100%, man. Man. Shout out Newcastle, man. Shout out Alexander Isak. Shout out Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon, Liverpool fan. He didn't really want to hurt us too tough. Still won. Shout out him. Let's move on to the Premier League games, man, because obviously that happened as well. First game on Saturday, Everton versus West Ham ended in a 1-0 draw. Man like O'Brien. Is he from the Everton Academy, that O'Brien guy?
I'm not actually sure, to be fair, man. I know he's just obviously broken into the team quite recently, obviously over Ashley Young. And man, he's got 2 goals back to back. He's playing well, but I'm not actually sure where they got him from still.
Yeah, man. And then Ipswich lost to Nottingham Forest with an Elanga double. By the way, did you guys check out the what's his name? Ola Aina interview with like Harry Pinero and them?
Yeah, I saw snippets. I didn't see the whole thing, but man, it seemed interesting, man. Yeah,
it was very interesting, man. It was very likable guy, man. I like that he's going on this media tour. I think we need more of that in the Prem, man. More of that. We need even the 100%. United owner talking. We need more. I need Richard Hughes on the mic, I need that Donny on the mic and explain yourself. Like, we need more of that, man. And Ola Aina, man, shout out him, man. He was like explaining the difference between playing against Liverpool and Arsenal.
I saw that as well.
Which is interesting from like a player's point of view, because he's the one that's playing in it. And it's surprising to me that he's saying that City is pretty easy because the game is in front of you.
Patience, isn't it?
They're just a patient thing, and they'll pick you out eventually. Whereas Arsenal is just and Liverpool is just super direct. So that was
he got it kind of spot on in terms of like the way Liverpool attack, in terms of 1 or 2 passes and then bang, and then it's going to who it needs to go to. So I appreciated the fact that he's kind of also seeing what we're seeing a little bit as well. So
facts, man. So we're not too bad with the analysis. Talking about City, they drew 2-2 to Brighton. I actually watched that game. Haaland, Marmoush with the goals, Estupinian and the own goal for Brighton. City, man. Do you man think City will be back? Or is this a Liverpool-Arsenal era?
This is what Rodri does next season, bro. Because they have Rodri to come back.
They do, but they are bad, man. Are you telling me a DM? Are you telling me a DM? I know everyone needs a DM, but we're playing with a makeshift DM and we're winning the league,
But
bro. Are you
to
telling me a
be
DM is the
fair-
be or end all?
No. To be fair, I think they do need to replace their goalie and centre back. So they do have that headaches. But City are well good at like this talent ID situation. So they will replace well. It's just how quickly are they going to get back to the City of old? Without like their star players, like KDB's more or less, I think
He's done.
He's
done.
He's done. They
Phil
don't have
Foden will come back.
Phil
Feeling
Foden
this
will
bitch
come
will
back.
come back.
So they don't. Yeah. It would take a while, but City with the money they have, definitely top four most all season. It's just
Brother,
would
but
they
this
have the
season-
X?
This season
know
is
what?
looking tight. Even
This
though fifth
season
place
is a
gets
write
champs,
off, bro.
Do you know what
This
it is?
season
but
is
in
they
my
need
opinion?
Champions
Yeah, go
League,
ahead.
bro.
Yeah,
I genuinely feel as if like this next era of City, KDB's gone in the summer. I'm almost certain of that. This next era of City is going to be determined by what Phil Foden does or does not do. Because if we really look at like, do you know what I mean, these last kind of 2 titles and how instrumental he's been. Obviously, Haaland can score goals until you're blue in the face, fine. But what we've seen from Haaland this season, especially like from the majority of the season, he had a very good start, is that if you don't create for Haaland, bro, like he's just one of many strikers, bro. And he's looked like one of many strikers for a long time. Like Marmoush has kind of come in and been a breath of fresh air. Like I genuinely
good.
feel as if City don't kind of develop like a new system in terms of being kind of creative again, they're gonna find it difficult, man, because they were so free flowing in these previous years. This season it's just been a struggle, bro. And it's no coincidence that Foden has basically not been involved in anything good all year. Do you know what I mean? So I think if they get Phil Foden back to his best, they're going to be competing for the title next year, man. With this squad, in my opinion, I believe.
But this is the issue with Phil Foden. This is kind of like the criticism that hangs over his head. The criticism is that he's a system player. So if the system is going well, he fits in. So what you're saying is for City to do well, he has to step out of whatever shadow he's playing under and become the man. He isn't the man in an England setup. He's very good in a City setup because he plays within that system. So are they going to play? Is Pep going to build a new system around Phil Foden, or is Phil Foden going to step out and become grow up and become the man in this City team? That's the biggest. I think those are the questions around Phil Foden.
Yeah.
But from what we can see, if the past shows you what the future is going to be, then I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. He has to basically have a KDB kind of level to where we're talking Silva, not Bernardo, the other Silva level to it.
Yeah, David,
that kind of like I'm taking this team. This team
He's
is
got
me.
the potential, man.
I think so.
Bro,
He's got
he's
the potential
like
to do that.
we are living in a world where potential is.
Yeah, I know potential. But what I'm talking about is like if the past, what you said determines the future. This guy, last 2 seasons, you saw what feeling this bitch been doing, bro. He cleaned up individual awards.
But in a system, this is the point. Of
course. So obviously, the question that you asked is a good question. Will Pep build a team around Phil, or Phil needs to step up and be the Donny? We'll see next season, innit? If that happens.
Yeah.
But you think that that's not going to happen, basically? That's what you're saying.
I just feel like from seeing how Phil plays, like he hasn't. In games, he's stepped up, but he hasn't shown me over a large sample size that he's willing to just take the ball and just drag the team. And I think that for him, that has to be his next step as a player.
Yeah. If
he's going to develop. When I see that consistently, then I'll be more convinced. But for now, I just feel like he was brought up in the system, in the Pep system, the City system. It's no kind of surprised that when he goes to England, he doesn't do as well because he's used to a certain way of playing, right? So now for his next development and for the progression of the City team, he has to basically grow up and take the next step, which is okay. I'm the guy. I'm the guy who's gonna bring trophies to this team.
Agreed.
And we have to show it in how he plays and how he obviously takes up the mantle. So whether he would do it, I don't know. I just haven't seen enough to say he will.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, man. Southampton, this was a relegation 6-pointer that Wolves won. Southampton lost again. Strand Larson with 2 goals. I think Wolves got a sizable gap now, which is like 9 points from Ipswich, who are 18th. So I think the bottom 3 is pretty set in stone, in my opinion, man. Like they tried, Ipswich tried, Southampton tried. We will get onto Leicester later on. But yeah, man, it's peak. Bournemouth versus Brentford was the evening game. Good game, man. I watched that game as well. Very nice game. Brentford eventually won that game. Norgard whistle with the goals, and I think the Bournemouth goal was an own goal. I want to talk about Brentford real quick because their manager Thomas Frank, that was a gaffer that I potentially wanted to replace. What's his name? Jurgen Klopp. Potentially, yeah, man. I really like him, man. But what is the next step for Brentford? Because they've been flirting in around between 12th and 9th place. Yeah. Is it time for them to now push up to get conference, possibly even Europa League? Because I think talent-wise, they got a good team. Manager-wise, just the whole club looks like a well-run club.
That's a good question. I think, well, let's benchmark them with their kind of their neighbors. Their peers. What other team? Their peers. What other team would you say? Brighton? Would you say Brighton?
I think their peers, like on the level, I'll be like Bournemouth, Fulham,
Palace. Yeah,
I think Brighton are maybe in the Villa class. Would you guys say that? Villa Fulham class?
Yeah, Villa Fulham Newcastle class. Yeah.
That's
and I
Brighton.
think on that basis, I just feel that they're where they're supposed to be. I think their club is run in such a renewable way that essentially they're overachieving. For them to now take a step further, they need to get players with a lot more kind of notoriety to their back.
They did it with Evan Nielsen. Evan Nielsen was a big signing to replace Solanke.
Yeah. Wait, sorry, you're talking about Bournemouth?
Brentford, not Bournemouth.
Sorry, Brentford. Sorry. We're going up. We're going to the
right.
Brentford, sorry,
okay. Are you talking? Brentford. So they're gonna have to step it up, and that means that the whole organization pushing money into the team to step it up. And I think with Brentford, they seem to me like a team or an organization with a plan. So they might be doing a 10-year plan. So in about 2 years, we're gonna pump in more money. So it's basically like a step by step situation. Yeah, and remember they were what, League 2, League whatever, like how many years ago? So what they've achieved?
Yeah, they've done well. Yeah, they've achieved a lot.
It's quite.
I think I can call them like a solid Premier League team. Like I think they can be like a Fulham going forward. Now I mean, now Fulham is pushing to like, we need to get back to the Jean-T Ghana days and get into the Europa League final. But
so I want to see. In all reality, just to finish on, in all reality, every championship team should be looking at Brentford as the team to be like, because they've kind of shared that championship kind of skin. They're now called a Premier League mainstay. So the way they've done it is it's something to be admired. So I think they're where they are, and in about 5 years, let's see what they will do. Yeah.
Okay. And we'll go to the Sunday games then. We started with Arsenal versus Chelsea, London derby. Arsenal, wait, hold on. Again, man. London champions. Again. How many seasons in a row is this? 3 seasons in a row. Undefeated.
I weren't keeping count, man. So
undefeated in London, boy. Hey. That's big though, because there's a lot of London clubs in the Premier League, you know what I mean? So home and away, not to be beaten for 3 seasons, that's big, you know what I mean? Let's get into this game, man. Shit.
Mace, I mean, I'll start us off, man. Like I don't know, right now and for a while, if I'm honest, I've kind of been watching Arsenal games and just been like, the team is just at 70%, bro. So I really win, lose or draw. I don't know what to make of the team because I just know we're not complete. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not complete. Like, Saka being out for such a long period of time, not having an established 9. Like, bro, I love Mourinho. I actually think he's done a serviceable job as a 9. But the last couple of games, I've been looking at the team sheet and I'm seeing Mourinho starting at 9 again. And I just laugh, bro, because I'm like, bro, this is not serious football. I'll be real. Like, this is makeshift football right now. Like, win, lose, or draw, it's makeshift. I can't. What can I really make of Mourinho starting at 9? Do you know what I mean? So I'm glad we won. Obviously, I don't want to get drawn into that top 4 battle, which is very, very disgusting. By the way, I think between number 4 and number 10, I believe there's only 5-point gap, which is just insane. So, like, pretty much anyone from Chelsea through to Bournemouth, in my opinion, can make top 4. And if I'm honest, I think it's between Chelsea and Brentford, there's an 8-point gap. So I actually think Brentford should be a bit disappointed that they're not actually closer to this pack. Just to kind of piggyback off the point we were talking about Brentford.
Fact.
But to talk about Arsenal, man, yeah, it's difficult, man. It's really, really difficult because we're not complete, bro, you know? So I just, it's hard to say what's going to happen game to game. But yeah, I agree with Andy, man. It's not particularly great football. It's not free flowing. There's a real lack of goals in a lot of our games, like recently. Yeah, it's just boring, bro. I'll be real, man. And I feel as if we're in a very anticlimactic part of the season where we're kind of basically just playing against ourselves.
For nothing.
We're playing for nothing, bro. Like, if I'm honest, and I want to say we're playing for the Champions League, but at full strength, I just don't see how we chance it or cheat it our way through. Like, and it's one of those ones where Liverpool are out, City are out. Like, ordinarily there would have been a chance, but with bruv, you're not gonna win a Champions League final with Marino up top, man.
We'll touch that. We'll touch on the Champions, man.
Chelsea won it with Havertz up top, so anything's possible, my brother.
Bro.
Anything is possible.
Bro, and you know I don't like Havertz, but I would give us a much better chance of beating Real with Havertz, bro. Like, when you have an actual someone that can actually play. Like, bro,
you know what's interesting? I think Marino's a better finisher than Havertz.
I think he is as well. I think he is
interesting.
I think he is.
And you know what? Like, the thing is with Arsenal, it feels like a very vicious cycle of like talking about the same thing every time. So nothing is ever new, you know.
So let's talk about like how you started the game really well. The way I saw it, I thought you started the game really well. Took the game to Chelsea, and I feel like you've been playing like this the whole season, which I've echoed so many times. As soon as you scored, you relinquished possession, and you know what? Fair enough, because you have a good enough defense. And contrary to what Chelsea fans want to say, because I saw a lot of bullshit from Chelsea fans, you guys were comfortable. Arsenal were comfortable. Like, I don't think.
I think we realized that they didn't have Cole Palmer or the Senegalese? What's his name?
Nico Jackson.
Nico Jackson.
Jackson. Yeah, we didn't have Jackson. They didn't have Jackson, so we just thought, there isn't. Yeah,
Neto tried. Neto tried the thing.
Neto
Kunku tried the thing, but it was all like, let's keep them just there, like a dog.
Let them have the ball. Yeah, just
let them have the ball.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like to me. However, man, like, do you guys think it's a lack of? I don't even want to say ability, because that's cap. But why don't you guys just run up the score? Why doesn't that happen? Is it the manager or is it the players that are just retreating? What is it?
I do not know particularly. It's a good question. I think it's a lack of ability in regards to our attacking front.
Come on, man. Martinelli as well. He was good, man. Those
Martinelli was okay. Martinelli was okay. Like, I echoed this last pod. I have an issue with Trossard. I know Toad said what he said, but I have an issue with Trossard because, yes, if we accept that he is a bench player, and maybe in Trossard's head he doesn't want to accept it, but there are certain things I expect from a player with the caliber of Trossard. One thing I expect is when the ball is in your feet at the kill zone, which is where you're very good at, hit it, score, do things, right? And as for an experienced player in his ilk, he isn't doing that. And that doesn't help us as well. I just feel like the great thing about Arsenal that I can sleep well at night is defensively, we are top. We're a very top team.
West Ham, man.
We're a top team. Midfield, we're an okay team. When I say okay, in regards to we're not technically good in terms of passing around. We're just very robust in terms of you're not going to bully us except you're Newcastle, right?
I was gonna say,
yeah, you're not going to bully us except you're Newcastle. But after that, it's just darkness. Without our, it's just
bro, it's like we're at 70%. I told you,
bro.
It's
just darkness, and now and again you get a flick of light from Wanyeri, or you get a big lamppost over there in Saka. But that's it. Just look in the street, and it's just darkness in front. Nothing is happening, and until we fix that, like I said, it's just going to be a vicious cycle of the same thing being spun again and again and again. This summer coming, we've just got Andrea Berta as our
sporting director.
Yeah, the sporting director. So that does, with all the webs being spun, I'm getting attracted to that kind of web of like he's sold well, he's bought well, etc. And we are going to do a big thing this summer. But I've heard those lies so many times, and we end up getting some lies. I've heard this lies so many times, but I am just hoping and praying and that we will get a striker. I'm pretty sure about that. It's not going to be Isak because we're not spending 150, and Newcastle do not like us, and they see us as like rivals, which I don't think we're rivals to Newcastle, by the way, but they somehow see us as rivals, which is interesting. Fair enough. So we need to go get someone who I think would fit the bill a bit better, which is Shesko. I'm not necessarily too sure how well he would do in the Prem because there's a big question mark. And there's a lot of surgery to be done to that new Arsenal team. Once I can see that we're serious in the caliber of players we're getting, then I'll be more excited. I've told Toast this so many times. Don't get excited until Arsenal proves to you that they're worth getting excited over. Oh, you know what I mean? Because this story has been played so many times, and it's just getting a bit boring now.
Quick question, yeah.
Brother.
Hold on to us. Quick question before, like on next season, etc. Bukayo Saka. Now, obviously, like hamstring injuries is common in any type of sport that requires running. Calm. People get it, but people don't get it like the way Saka had it. Normally, people don't get surgery on hamstring
bro. From hamstring
surgery. Like getting a surgery on a hamstring injury is next level, bro. Like how many players have you heard having surgery on a hamstring injury, Shalom?
Brother,
do you guys think he'll come back the same? Should he come back this season? Is my question basically, or I really keep him under cotton wraps for next season?
Just because I've spoken enough, let me pass it to Toast because he had another point. Toast, take it.
To answer Andy's question, absolutely. Okay, if we're still in the Champions League and Saka is fit, I genuinely believe that like there's still some very good teams in the Champions League, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of good teams that are also out. We have to kind of keep it 100 as well. If Saka's available, for me, I wouldn't rush him back in the Champions League games, but if Saka's fit, Saka is our best player. Saka gives us a chance to actually score goals, be creative, win games. So for me, absolutely, man. To answer your question, I know it's quite rare.
It will be tight, bro.
Yeah, no, I know. I know it's quite rare, but just Saka, just from an ability standpoint, like Saka will use his speed. Don't get me wrong, but like from an ability standpoint, I'm not concerned, man. And we're talking about 2025. Modern science and like the best physios, the best doctors, you know, like the best kind of like strength and conditioning people. I'm not concerned about Saka's ability to kind of be the same guy, be explosive. It is concerning though, and I hope this is a lesson to Arteta that we need to get reinforcements. And this actually leads me on to my next point because Arsenal, our talent ID in recent years has just not been good enough, in my opinion, man. It's not been good enough. But having said that, like the choices and the options are not so far from home. Like, if you actually if Arsenal decide to raid the Premier League this summer, like, bro, it could be different, man.
I think
I'm so
I
real.
think Cunha is a joker that people are not looking at that may be really good for like an Arsenal or Liverpool.
Do you know?
Yeah, he
do you
would be
know-
good, but then he's liable to smack someone and get red card for 4 games.
Do you know
'cause
He's only had
his
one
head
red
loss,
card,
bro.
man.
Bro,
Three
he
or
got
one
head
red
loss.
card
You
this
know
season.
this, bro.
3 or 4 men that I would take from the Premier League right now. I mean, because and just to say this, Declan Rice has been moving me recently, man. He's been cooking. I can't lie. So I'm just like, brother, let's get Declan a running, mate. It's gonna be long, bro. Honestly, Declan has been playing so well recently. So my wish list, in it, like, you know where I'm getting first, man. Bring me MGW, bro. Bro, whether you want to play him 8, whether you want to play him 10, I don't care. Bring him to the Emirates, bro. He will cook in that team. Believe you me. Bring me Brian Mbumo, fake LeBron. I need that guy in my team, bro. That left foot, different, bro. And I know he's had a difficult season, but I need to see Martinelli gone. So bring me Mohamedou Kudus. Bring me Mohamed Kudus, bro. Like, don't overthink it, bro. Do you know what I mean? These are players that perform at a very high level at their teams.
But then premium
But the issue
prices
with
you will
that is
pay,
that-
boy.
Exactly.
okay, bro.
The issue that you're
That's
clocking
okay.
250 mil just on
I
free
hear
plays.
Toes though. I'm with
The thing
Toes.
is,
I hear
I'll
it.
be real with you, man.
I hear it.
I'll
I'm
be
with
real with
Toast,
you,
man.
man. And I've said this a couple of times on pod. I don't give a heck about financial fair play, bro. Because City, the chickens have still not come home to roost for them. So why are we talking about financial fair play, bro? Let's worry about that down the line when we have the titles, bro. Bro, what are we doing? Like, be a sustainable club. Forget all that, bro.
Now the
Bro.
problem, now, Toast, let me tell you something. I think Arsenal are hiding behind that sustainable nonsense. I just feel like Stan Kroenke is cheap. He wouldn't drop the peas like a City will, because.
But do you think
City
it's like a
have just-
PTSD thing with the way Arteta has been spending it? Arteta and Eddie,
No.
of course.
I don't think so. I think KSC trust Arteta, but what they do is they try to run Arsenal like a business. They don't. That's why I would rather have Saudis run my club than say the Americans, because the Americans
They
tend
do
to
it for
run
the
the
love,
club like
boy.
a business. The Saudis do it for the love, and they're just blind to, like, okay, what, 60 mil? Cool, we'll spend 65 just to bring him, to make sure. The Americans like 60, 45. We can do 45, and then that's when the bullshit starts. But you have Chelsea, who had Bowley, and Bowley's different. Maybe because he had to consult him, they just spend for fun. So I guess he's an exception to the rule, but in general, I think KSC just doesn't want to drop the bread. If he's really about this life, he will drop.
I don't
Okay,
know.
last points on Arsenal.
Sorry, mate. Just I gotta go there. I don't know if I agree with that, bro, because we've obviously seen, like, Stan Kroenke's teams have had large success in the last couple of years, bro. Denver Nuggets won the NBA title 2 years ago. The LA Rams won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. He had to put up big. I know they have a salary cap, but he had to put up big bread up for his teams, bro. Like, bro.
Let me ask you a question, bro. Let me ask you a question quickly. Let me ask you a question. Do you reckon Stan Kroenke loves football or soccer? As opposed to...
Yeah, you don't give a heck about soccer.
Exactly.
No, I agree. I don't think he gives a heck about Arsenal.
This is a Josh situation. But but Josh is kind of like his liaison to, like, go to the English and sort them out. You know what I mean? That's it. What I'm telling you is, like, look at it from, like, an owner's point of view. That's why I said I prefer the Saudis. They love football, so they know about the sport, so they will spend. Kroenke sees Arsenal as a business. He doesn't see. He doesn't. I bet you he doesn't pick up the newspaper, because I guess that's what people in this age do in terms of sports. Pick up newspaper, or turn on ESPN and say, I want to listen to the soccer news. He ain't doing that.
I'll be real.
I'm telling you, like, it's basically human. It's human nature. You subconsciously support what you like. And look at, like you just said it, benchmark Arsenal with his other franchises. Why not Arsenal, and why his franchises? Ask that question, and you get the answer.
I personally just think that I don't even want to go OTT and say it's PTSD in it, man. But I also think it's like but I've been giving you man bread for the last 2 years, and what have you done with it? And now you're coming back
Yeah.
asking me for 150 million
that's
for a
what I
striker,
believe
bro.
as well.
What?
Yeah.
You spent what 60, 70 million on Havertz, and the project failed. You spent what 40
Yeah.
million on Calafiori, who I like, by the way, but MLS is now the starting left back. So maybe
Because that is business as
maybe,
well. The returns of investments have not really been
brother,
investing. So
like,
why you
like,
coming
am I
back?
just going to be spending,
Okay.
and you're coming back for more money?
How much
and
is
the
how much
players
has
that you
City
bought-
spent? How much has City
Bro, you
spent?
can't compare.
No,
How
but
much
City
is-
sell
150
well.
charges to
They
us,
sell
bro.
well.
This is what I'm saying, though.
That's
City
fine.
can
But
spend because they sell well.
That's
How much
okay,
did they sell Alvarez? The hardly
that's
paid
fine.
for City. How much did they sell
But
him?
the point is, and we all know this, is that for you to win any championship, you have to spend. And yes, sometimes you get it wrong, but you still have to spend. You need to spend. You shouldn't look at it. You shouldn't look at the football club as some kind of like profit and loss. I mean, of course you should, but you know, in sports you spend. And I keep saying, look at Arsenal and look at his other franchises. Look how much he spent.
Nice.
He spent a lot.
For me,
That's my point.
Andy made a great point. Like, even
Yeah.
the players that we're bringing in, and we're not giving, bro. Why is it that our club doesn't have, our players don't have resale value, bro? Because that is a fair point on the other side. Like, you're literally
agree.
begging for extra pennies for the likes of like Eddie Nketiah, bro. You can't even get good money for like the likes of Nelson, the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe. Like, that is an issue that we need to address on our side. So it's like, brother,
I agree.
he's looking at the club like you're just asking. But what are you giving? What are you giving? Like, this is what I'm saying, bro. So I see
Let's move on,
both
man.
sides. I see both
Let's
sides.
move on.
Yeah, let's move on, G.
Shout out the Gooners, man. London Premier League winners, my dogs.
Man, Havertz, that signing, man. Blood on his hands. Sorry, man. Sorry.
Blood
Go
on
on.
his
Go on.
God.
Another London derby happened as well. This time West against North. Oh, also West against North. Sorry. Fulham against Spurs. We don't have to spend too much time because Strezzer's not here. But obviously, he would have had a. I know his head is kettled right now, but Fulham spanked Spurs at the moment. Spurs 2-0. Muniz and Sessegnon against his old club. That guy, when he came on, man, he looked determined to score.
Yeah.
He had blood in his eyes.
He done the
That's
respectful
funny.
thing though. Didn't celebrate, but I hear you. I knew he was
Bro,
happy inside. I could tell.
That was a celebration. I can't lie. You know, sometimes not celebrating is celebrate. Yeah, bro. But yeah, and obviously the point that Press made in the group chat that, you know, if it wasn't for the Europa League, Ant Postecoglou would have been long gone. They're playing. They got a two-legged tie against Eintracht Frankfurt, fourth in the Bundesliga. Very good team. Obviously, they lost Marmoush, but still a very good team. If they lose that tie, is Ange gone, or will they give him to the end of the season?
End of the season.
I reckon end of the season, man. End of the season. But this is just another point because the VARBAR group chat tried to gaslight me about Ange Ball and about Ange is not good, bro.
Me too,
Ange
bro.
is not good, bro.
Me
You
too.
man.
Like,
It's touching, man, innit?
bro, Spurs are horrific, bro.
Horrible.
And no amount of goals you
Yeah.
score is gonna make up for that. I'm sorry. So honestly, Ange, he would have been gone by now if not for the Europa. I personally don't think the Europa is gonna save him. Personally, like, bro, they've got their shooters back now. I'm seeing Sons, I'm seeing Solankis, I'm seeing Madisons. If anything, Odebear, they've got depth and
They
they're
got a
still
good
getting
team
moved
now.
to. So come on,
Yeah.
man. Like, can we finally accept that Spurs? They're just not a good team. Like, or Ange, it's not clicking. It's not working.
Hey, but Craven Cottage is not easy for anyone, though. Can we use that as a? It's not easy. People go in there and lose, bro, or drop points. But yeah, it's looking peak for Spurs. And then obviously our favorite striker in the one of our favorite strikers in the Premier League, managing Leicester, Ruud van Nistelrooy with another L. I saw like this graphic. I don't have this. Toast, if you can get this graphic up, man, we need to put that on.
Yeah, I'll try to find it still. It's diabolical, bro. It's
You know what's even funny about that graphic as well? They beat Spurs.
It's like L. 2-1 against Spurs. L. It's crazy, bro.
It's not even that. They let Garnacho and Højlund score. The two, probably one of the most out of form strikers at United at the moment. Bruno Fernandes doing Bruno Fernandes things. Mace, man, I want to get onto Bruno Fernandes, man, because Even
Yeah.
though United are really tired this season, because let's call it for what it is, they're tired this season. He is the shining light in their team, to be honest, like consistently as well. Like, have you seen like a change in his game? Because one thing why I've never rated Bruno Fernandes like you guys did was like he's a very wasteful player. He does whatever. 1 out of 10 times it will work out, and then people will be like, oh, he tries, he's a hard worker, I get it, but he's so wasteful, man. Like, I can't see him at any other top team. That was my opinion of him back then. But this season, he's proving me wrong, man. Like, how do you see it?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I've rated him as well as other people have, just to kind of put it out there. I think he's a fantastic player when he wants to be. Apart from him being very wasteful, the second bit which grates at me is he's a moaner, he's a complainer, right? And when I see that in a player who isn't a top player at every game, I question the mentality, etc. But very recently, I don't see him moaning. I don't see him complaining. I just see him getting on with it. I just see him carrying his teammates, just being what he's supposed to be, which is a top player, and that's what he's finally showing us what he can do.
Is that a Portuguese manager factor, you think?
Perhaps. I know people will laugh about this, but we played like ultimate team where the chemistry has to work for the team to do really well. So when you have a Portuguese, like, I guess, colleague, and you that's funny, and you see, you see he believes in you, etc., you tend to play well. Plus, they're not playing for much anyway, so the only way is up for those guys, and the cream always rises to the top. And Bruno, for better for worse, is United's cream. So yeah, he's 100%. Doing well, and I'm very impressed.
Toast, man, talk us through that ex-United manager against his old club, man, because this record here, he started off well, to be honest, unbeaten in 2. I think like he was unbeaten in 4 even, like in cup games, and his United stint as well. So he was unbeaten for a few games, but then since Newcastle, man.
I don't know if you remember that West Ham game. I remember on pod, I told you, man, that me and my brother watched that game. West Ham peppered them. And it was honestly by the grace of God that them man got a result in that game, man. But since then, I mean, I don't even need to commentate here. I don't need to, like, the results speak for itself. Like, the last 5 games, L's without reply. They're not even scoring anymore, bro. So that's the spookiest thing, man. Like, once they go a goal down, ball game. It's a wrap after that. Like, United are not a good team. Like, let's keep it a buck now. United are not a good team. United were having fun out there yesterday, bro. Having fun out there. Bruno, 2 assists, 1 goal. Garnacho's getting his joy back, first goal in 20 plus games. Højlund getting his joy back, first goal in 20 plus. Like, come on, bro. When players that have not been scoring since 2024 are now scoring again, it's long, man. It's
That's
long. So
know,
I feel
bro.
for Ruud. I feel for Ruud. And I don't know if, just kind of maybe going off topic a little bit, he rushed into this next move, because I know he did well at United, like very obviously like caretaker, but brother, to go to Leicester City, it was always going to be a difficult managerial. And now people are probably looking at him like,
yeah. You know? No, you make a fantastic point, man, because this is what like even like Dutch people or the journalists were saying as well, that you could have done better than Leicester. You showed yourself at United. Now you're regressing back, and I feel like choosing a team is so like, what do you call it? It's so like important. Not every manager is good at getting it from the, you know what I mean? Getting it from the mud. If it's not you, it's not you, bro. Sometimes you need like good material. Even like Robin van Persie, for example. I'm still shocked that he's got the final job, but whatever. But now with good material, because he was at Heerenveen, didn't really do well. But now with good material, you're seeing, okay, he's actually a decent manager. Not everyone can get it from the mud, man. And yeah, it's regrettable, because I do think he's a good manager. He showed it in the Eredivisie. He showed it a little bit at United, where they were solid, to be honest. They didn't lose a game under him in 4 games. So,
agreed.
Yeah, I think it's that, man.
Yeah, It's a bad decision because you don't take a relegation team, especially with the ilk of like a Leicester. And, and for your next, I think
I
rushed
think you're
into
gonna do it.
Yeah, he rushed into it because you can understand it when you just done well with United and they just because I think deep down he was probably thinking they're gonna give me this job.
Yeah,
They're gonna give me.
Yeah.
They're gonna give me this job, and then United.
Nah, he
just
wanted
thought,
assistant, right? He wanted to be assistant.
yes,
I
Part
swear.
of the
like
staff.
that.
Yeah.
Plus, obviously, it didn't make sense for him to come lead PSV to United at that time because it only logically made sense that they were using him as a way to like in case things didn't go well, and then he would take over. And when that didn't happen, it probably made sense that he was thinking, okay, these guys have screwed me over. I need to manage, and it didn't work out. So yeah,
Toast just left us, but we'll just continue. Oh, here he is. Welcome back, Toast.
Hello, Toast.
I don't know what happened there.
Welcome
back. Yeah, Van Nistelrooy, man, bad decisions, man, and now this might hurt your stock, man. But yeah,
we'll
see what happens, man.
Song, bad decisions.
Bad decisions. All right, man. Let's move on quickly, man. We need to get through the Champions League games. Of course, the quarterfinal teams are now finalized. My gooners are in there. Hey, I've been applauding you guys this whole episode, man. God damn it,
man. Why are you applauding us for, bro? Why are you applauding us?
Quarterfinalists. Hey, not only that, you're going back to Madrid after 20 years, brother.
See this guy, man.
Hey, your fan base seems to be happy about that, man. That is a badge of honor, apparently, man. But
apparently, bro.
Barcelona, sort of Benfica, Bayern Munich, sort of Bayer Leverkusen, Inter Milan, sort of Feyenoord, PSG, sort of Liverpool, Dortmund, sort of Lille, Arsenal, sort of PSV. What did you guys quickly make of that game? It was kind of two B teams against each other.
Bro, Sterling was man of the match. That says everything of that game, bro.
He was whack as well, bro. I thought he was whack.
That says everything for that game, but yeah, let's move on.
Shout out Aston Villa doing a job on Club Brugge.
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid winning the game in normal time, but controversial stuff happened. But I hate to be a party pooper. He did touch it twice. Let's move on. He touched it twice. Yeah, man. So obviously, then what's the draw? So Barcelona are playing Dortmund.
Barca are playing Inter. Inter, yeah. Sorry,
Inter.
Barca are playing Dortmund. Bayern are playing Inter.
Yeah. Bayern are playing Inter. PSG are playing Aston Villa.
Yes.
Aston Villa, and then Madrid
Barcelona,
against
Dortmund.
Arsenal. Obviously the tie of this. There's some good matches here. Inter Bayern
Great,
is a good one. But obviously Arsenal Real Madrid will be fantastic for so many reasons. I prefer this from like a simply objective point of view. I prefer this instead of the Atletico one because I know the Atletico one would have been dead, absolutely dead. It would have been dead rubber. Probably like a Griezmann last minute goal in the Wanda Metropolitano. Arsenal are out, unlucky. But I see why Arsenal fans are excited, to be honest. I know Toast, you're trying to play it coy. I know Toast tries to be careful. And of course you have to, because similar to like Liverpool and PSG, it's a big team. So don't be overconfident. But Madrid, obviously Madrid, they got the, what do you call it? What did they say that Liverpool have? Madrid got that times 10. The
prestige,
the aura,
the aura, the Champions League aura. The like, wherever goes, it will go Madrid's way, in it.
Yeah,
that's what you guys have to battle rather than Real Madrid, man. How do you guys see this side panning out?
Yeah, I had a thought about this. I'll deal with probably the extras later. I think this game or the tie is Mikel Arteta's audition for the Spanish watchers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it from that point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you know what the word is on him from a Spain point of view? Did they rate him? Do you know what the word is from Spain?
I don't know. I feel like they're probably rating him from afar, but now he's coming back to Spain. or
Yeah.
the Spanish people are going to be more tuned to this game. I think this is going to be his audition. So it's very interesting from that point of view. I think he's going to be up for it, and his team will. Ultimately, it depends how that game play out. We don't want a counter attack from Madrid. We don't want that. So I do feel what Arsenal will do, they'll try and keep the ball as much as possible. They'll try and keep the ball and probably will hope and pray for set pieces. And I think that's the only way we beat them, via set pieces. Unfortunately.
I also think the job has to be done at the Emirates. In my opinion.
Yeah, agreed. Because remember but remember, City did the job, and then they went to Madrid. And
I still got spanked. I know that. No,
Yeah,
but Arsenal are defensively solid, absolutely solid.
Andy, when you say the job, like what scoreline, just for example, would you define as the job at the Emirates?
I think like if Arsenal do a 2-0, now hold on. If Arsenal do a 2-0 at the Emirates, go to the Bernabeu and you camp it,
brother. I can let you know, hand on heart now, that we're not gonna outscore Real by 2 goals in any facet. Like, if by some miracle we score 2 goals, they'll probably match us. Like, I just don't think that our attack is good enough right now. I trust our defense, and I think our defense is going to keep us in it. I think our midfield is going to keep us in it. But again, we all know the Champions League is about those quality moments from the quality players. Like, for me, in this tie, I don't want to see Martinelli. I don't want to see Martinelli over the 180 minutes, bro. I'll be real, because for me, the Champions League and these sort of games is about the unpredictability. Do you know what I mean? It's about the flashes of brilliance. It's about the inspiration when you least expect it. I don't want to see any of that predictable crap football that we've been playing with the makeshift team that we currently have. It's not going to do a damn thing against that Real defense. That Real defense is not even the one of old. They're decent, man. Like, they're actually quite decent. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I agree.
You think they're decent?
I don't think they're bad at all, bro.
No, I don't think they're bad.
On their day, they're good. On their day, they can be like Rudiger. But like, I think the point that Toast made, which I agree with, your attack is bare bones. And that's where you might...
I agree, but I'm not exalting that Madrid defense. They've been better defense in the past. And I think they can be gotten at, but not with this current Arsenal team.
If I'm honest with you, Mace, like, the only way I see us getting through this tie is if we're defensively astute for 2 legs and we actually really make use of those set pieces, bro. Genuinely. Like, let's use it as an advantage, because we've been good at them all season. Do you know what I mean? Let's make sure that we get Gabriel and Saliba involved. Rice, get those crosses in the box, because we're bare bones. I don't see how we're gonna score. We're gonna be free flowing and score goals against this team, man. Again, and I know I was wrong about the PSV tie. I was very wrong about that. Ended up being 9-3 on aggregate, but I just don't see in the really crucial moments of the game where the goals are gonna come from. Wow. Look at Mbappe. Look what he done to win that penalty, for goodness sake. The way he shifted the ball from left to right, bro. Like, bro, that one motion created an opening for them. That got the penalty. Vinny, blood on his hands, completely understand. Mbappe should have taken a penalty, but that's why, for me, Ethan, I'm giving you the keys to the city, my boy, because I'm trying to see something that they're not gonna expect. If you're expecting Martinelli to, bro, forget that, man. Forget that, bro.
Because when you clock it right, we need someone against Valverde. I know he's been good, but you need an experienced attacker against Valverde. Because I think that's where you can possibly get a good opening. Because they're playing Valverde as a right back.
Mace, do you remember?
Good.
Do you remember Fabregas against Juve?
Yeah.
We need Ethan to put in that sort of performance, bro. I genuinely believe that.
Young Fab.
Genuinely.
That game is when Fabregas announced himself to the whole world.
Oh, man.
That game. So can Ethan do that? Possibly.
This is the stage, man. Quarterfinals. It's getting exciting. This is where the big teams show themselves. This is where Champions League also gets interesting as well, man. So, yeah, man, I'll be hate watching. In terms of like my favorites so far, to like all the teams that I would like to win it, it's probably out of the Villa or PSG, man. Like, I like PSG. I like their team. I like everything that they stand for, to be honest, like from midfield to defense. I'm a bit about, to be honest, but from midfield onwards, very, very good. Fullbacks are good as well. And Villa as well, man. Just like their team is just very, very, I like it, man. So they can spring up a surprise as well. Like, don't count them out against PSG. That's all I'm saying.
I got my money on
Mace.
Barca, man. But
Do you know what would be the most Arsenal thing ever? To get past Real and then play Villa in the semi and lose.
and then
to
lose?
Villa.
Yeah.
That would be the most.
You know what?
Arsenal
You know
thing
what
ever,
people are
man.
talking about though. Arsenal, Barca final.
They'll give us work, boy. With this current
Barca's
team,
scary.
they'll give us
Barca's
work,
scary.
bro.
Bro, that side,
Is it-
Inter, Barca, Bayern. There's some good teams on that side as well.
I
You
mean,
know.
it's if history is repeating itself, then I'll take it because we have to redo some wrongs.
But you're not beating Barca though. I don't think you're beating Barca.
Bro.
Fuck it,
I-
I'll take
man.
it.
Yeah, I know you're in the final. Fuck it.
Yeah,
But I think Barca, hey.
that's the team I want to see the
Yo.
least in the final. Facts, no facts, facts.
All right, man. Let's head over to the bar, man. Any shots? Shots.
Shots. Yeah.
Hey, you man are London Premier League champions,
Yeah.
man. Come on, man. Take a shot for that,
I'll
man.
give
Okay.
2 shots. I'll give 2 shots. My first shot goes to Declan Rice. As Toast has said, he has been impressive in a couple of games, and I'm very impressed. And I do think he needs to be taking more free kicks, more than Martin Odegaard, because I just trust him a little bit more. So yeah, that's 1 shot for Declan. My second and final shot goes to the kid, Myles Lewis-Skelly. Congratulations for your England call-up.
Congrats.
It's very impressive for a kid that age and what you've done. And something tells me you're going to be a mainstay in England for years to come, and you're going to be a fantastic player. So, yeah, we're all, as Arsenal fans, we're proud of you, and congratulations, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out Miles for that call up.
My shot is simple, man. My shot goes to Mr. I seen him on a roll when I come to training. Like one Eritrean Swedish don sounding like some Somalian from West London, bro. That celebration, iconic.
Did you hear him?
bro.
Did you hear him against with Henry, where he was like,
Henry.
"Nah, man, that's a stretch." I was like, "That's funny."
Yeah, nah, man. I mean, just from a personal standpoint, obviously, Isak. I mean, Alexander is an unbelievable player. Just for all hate watchers out there, like we had something yesterday, man. We really enjoyed that one yesterday, man. So got to shout out Isak, man. I mean, first trophy in 70 years, man.
I was
That is
down
crazy.
bad, bro. Last night I was down bad.
Plutoski.
I'm never gonna lie to you, man. But regardless of that, man, my shot will go out to Newcastle, man, because if there's any team that I would want to lose to, it's against them, man. Like, you know, that bully ball tactic that they do it to perfection. And what Shalom said is perfect as well. But when they hit you when you're low, they hit you and you feel it. You know what I mean? So shout out Newcastle, 70 years. No trophy. They finally won the Carabao Cup 2 years ago. They were in the final as well. They beat Liverpool. They made Liverpool look bad. Let's give Newcastle all the credit because they did that. It's not like, Liverpool were bad, that's why they won. No, they made us look bad. So, yeah, man, my shot goes to the whole team. Eddie Howe, first English manager to win since 2008. Yeah, man. A question. I had this question earlier as well about question on like Newcastle. Do you think they have the potential as a squad, this current iteration of Newcastle, to do more, to like be a regular top 4 team? No?
No, they need to add more. They need to add. You can't be playing with Dan Burns.
No, has Nottingham Forest got a better team than them?
I think this Nottingham Forest is more of a flash in the pan. We need to see more. We've seen more of Newcastle.
Yeah, not on paper. Not on paper. Not on paper, in my opinion. But I mean, not on paper. Forest don't have a better team. Nah, in my opinion.
Yeah, because that PMP don't last for long, bro.
I was gonna say, like, as much as we were talking about the desire thing and a will to win, that you can't use that every week. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get yourself up for games like that every week, bro. Do you understand?
Yeah, man.
Like, slap them 4-1.
All right, man. That was it. Please like, subscribe, share, watch, do whatever you want to do with this episode. If you reached at this point 1 hour and 30 minutes, man, shout out you, man.
Come on.
My name is Andrew, aka Rapping Drew. As always, Toast, Mace, the hate watching Gooners, Premier League champions of London. We out. Peace.